Welcome back, everybody. It is the Working Brother back at you with another talk, trying to find the volume control for this music. Guess who's back with us? George McMillan III. Welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. All times.
Do you think the U.S. is any closer to a civil war, or do you think it is further away? Considering last week's events.
I thought Tim Pool was the Civil War expert.
Beanie Man, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Beanie Man. Let's get into some current stuff before we continue with the stuff that we've dealt with in depth already, that evolved into much more than we were planning to. By the way, everybody who's new here, comedy show. So today there was a Bluescreen of death that awaited a lot of people. George,
if people really do want to know the best U.S. Civil War stuff, go to Forward Observer's YouTube channel.
Who now?
Mike Shelby or Sam Culper, which that's a pseudonym, or Sam Culper's is Nom de Guerre. Okay, No wonder why I didn't do so well in French. But anyway, he's got a really good series of videos on Civil War II. He's got, I think it's a 5-part video series on it. Really, really super good. I tell everybody to watch all of them. I'll throw the link in the chat somewhere.
All right, why not? Oh, and that reminds me, we've got live going on somewhere in the background, I think. Let's see if that's actually live now. Not yet, by the looks of it. In any case, so today, what are we going to discuss? You want to get into the Windows stuff and the what is that company called?
Yeah, we'll do let's do it. Just a real quick rundown because
today's CrowdStrike Day. It is officially the 19th. It's the 19th of the 7th. For anybody who's watching this much later. So, CrowdStrike Holdings and the global crash of airlines, basically. I mean, not crash, but like crash of their computers.
Right.
What do you want to say about the blue screens everywhere?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look that up this morning. Yeah, I'm too busy doing other stuff. But I guess, CrowdStrike is run by a former FBI guy. I remember, I forget the guy's name, and he did the cybersecurity, or they did the cybersecurity for the DNC, and they're based in the United States, DC and Silicon Valley and over in Kiev. So
coincidence.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Coincidence. You heard it here first. From the horse's mouth, as they say. In any case, I wanted to get your take. Would you go on holiday in North Korea, George? This is a newly opened resort in North Korea. You've known to travel Southeast Asia. Would you visit?
No.
Why not? Are you racist? Or you think they wouldn't let you in? I don't
get myself into situations that I can't get myself out of.
All right, that's a good strategy. That's all I can say. Should we get to the meat of today's talk, as in that PowerPoint that you sent?
Yeah, we can go over that.
This is your plug here.
Yeah, I put one of the Forward Observer videos up in your chat. Throw it up there when you can.
Oh, okay, hold on. Any particular timestamp you want us to get to?
No, but it's a 5-part series.
Good morning and welcome to Breaking Down Civil War II.
Oh, that's what you were just talking about. Okay, I'll leave it in the description of the video.
Yeah, it's a really good 5-part series. He did it years ago, but again, when you're doing strategic analysis, it doesn't age. I mean, it actually ages better with time. And he's also got a really, really super good video on how to do area intelligence. And he's got, well, I didn't mean to come out here and start plugging his books, but it looks like it turned into that anyway. He's a friend of a friend. So, yeah, he does this book, in fact, SHTF Intelligence. And he has this book, the Area Intelligence Handbook with Mike Shelby. Yeah, Mike Shelby does a really good job on that, on how to do. Again, if you're doing security setup for an event, you start in and you work your way out in circles. So you have a venue assessment like what the Secret Service was supposedly did. And then the area intelligence would be the routes around and leading to the event. So there's different circles and different methodologies for that. So these books explain those methodologies. And he's got videos on how to do that. And he teaches weekend classes all over the country, mostly in Texas, I guess.
I want to get back to the Bluescreen thing. I've got little video here. What CrowdStrike is and why was there a Microsoft outage?
Breaking news, the global Microsoft outage all around the world, including in Paris, where it's affecting the Olympics just a week before the games begin. The organizing committee said in a statement that they have activated contingency plans in order to continue operations. It did not immediately provide details on how its operations were affected. And there are even impacts in Australia, where a supermarket chain reported their self-checkout machines have been rendered useless and are displaying the blue recovery screen. Some other stores in the country decided to close their doors due to the ongoing outage. And many of us are having questions about how this outage happened. Let's bring in Adam Isles, principal and head of cybersecurity at the...
Let's not bring in anybody, but that gives us an outline of what happened. What's your comment, George, as big picture kind of overall analysis guy? Linux, is that your answer?
Yeah. Well, it's I don't know. I'm just going to take a wild guess, since CrowdStrike has been in Kyiv for a long time, and is no doubt assisting that Project Ukraine, as Christopher calls it. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of provides a motive for, I guess, Russia. I don't know. We'll see.
So you're saying it's Russia? It's Russian propaganda, basically.
Yeah, must be. Well, it can't be Serbian propaganda, right?
Welcome to the future. This is how they dealt with it in India. I've seen also pictures of whiteboards as the departures and arrival boards, keeping it old school.
Yeah.
No comment.
No, unfortunately, there's too many planes in the air to keep it old school. But whatever. Since I'm not flying today, it's not a big deal.
Oh, there it is. This is basically the idea that you were getting at, that it's all Russian fault, it's Russia's to blame, for everything else. Okay, fine, George. I can see it on your face. You want to get to the Trump assassination attempt thing. No,
I got my message board is popping up like crazy.
Oh.
I think one of my Facebook stalkers was Facebook stalkers. One of my video stalkers or whatever was talking about my shifty eyes. Yeah, I'm used to working in operations centers where I got to monitor a whole bunch of screens. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you've got two screens, I've got two screens, so it's not surprising. That's one of the reasons that I adopted wearing these glasses. These are not sunglasses. These are, by the way, vision glasses that tint, but the camera picks up the polarized stuff. So basically, by the way, George, I'm getting echo again. So if you can turn down your volume a bit, it'll help. Or maybe you click that microphone button again. But in any case, I was going to say that these are actually polarized glasses that just look like this on camera. They're actually not that dark in real life. So in any case, you wanted to talk about this guy, who is Greg Lepin. Inside information on what actually happened, former SWAT and PSD. What's PSD? Remind me.
Protective security detail.
All right.
Go up. Here, let me get my set up. Yeah, let's just go from the beginning and just shoot down real quick.
Okay.
So the original video just had where the shooter was and where Trump's stage was.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 127 yards. I gave the coordinates. Okay, here in this video, I changed this slide set because there were two counter sniper teams that were Secret Service. Both of them were behind Trump. There's the sniper team one. If you're looking at Trump's stage, was off to the left and behind him. There was a second counter sniper team off to his right behind him. They were never in anybody's photographs that I could see, but Greg Lepin has talked to people that were at the scene, apparently, and had that knowledge. And in that video explained that it was a second sniper team. If you're looking at Trump, it's going to be on the right side. They're the ones that actually shot Crooks, and they shot him with an SR-25. It's made by Knights Armament. Yeah, not those guys. It would be the people that would be 50 meters away, a couple of buildings over.
Yeah.
So
I'm just browsing through all the slides while you talk.
Yeah. Okay. So that just added that bit of information. So then there's other people that have been talking about a multiple shooter scenario. Yeah, leave it on that one right there. Yeah, leave it on that screen. Because you have you have Trump in the front stage area. Yeah, right there. And he was shot at by Crooks in a single shooter scenario on the building that those lines go to. So at first of all, they thought the first counter sniper team shot him. No, it turned out that the second counter sniper team shot him a few hundred yards away. So that would have been.
This is
okay,
we discussed
so
this. We discussed this a bit. We discussed this a bit before we started recording, and basically George and I came to the agreement that we're going to cover what's known up to today, and then we're going to drop the whole Trump thing because there's a lot of things that are changing, and like it's we're going to give a summary of it when it cools down and when a lot more things surface. Basically, we're going to get back to recording our normal boring slide sets without like current events, right, George?
Yeah, we need to get back to the 7P plan. Because we went over just the basics of it, but then there's a whole bunch of different conclusions that we need to get to. So we'll go over the 7P plan again, and then the different aspects of it. I don't want to say nuances of it because it's a strategic plan that does a whole bunch of different things. So those different things need to be discussed, and people will see why. When you know a rival's strategic plans, that's how you develop your counter strategy. If you know what they're doing in advance, you can start heading them off and countering them. If not, you're just reacting. So again, my work is predictive modeling. It's not news. When you hear news, you're reacting. When you do predictive analysis, you're preparing for you're preparing for an attack, and you're already preparing your counter strategies. If you're attacked one way, how you're gonna respond. So you're developing you're going through different COA analysis, COA assessment, and course of action selections for your emergency response procedures or whatever your response procedures are going to be. That's what you're doing.
We already did a video on COA. I might leave a link somewhere if I can find it, or if I can find which one of the videos it is.
Well, we're going to be doing a lot more of them.
All right, excellent. I wanted to take a tiny little break and thank whoever it was, that one person that became a new patron. I want to thank everybody who's bought me a coffee. And I want to remind you that those links, as well as George's links, are in the description. Now back to current events.
Well, then I got to tell everybody to go to ravengeostrategic.com.
It's already in the description, and here is your little presentation thing. Let's go more into what was going on. We've got some videos. Do you want to get into some videos here?
Let's just work down this thing and just move through it.
All right.
Because we just want to, the way we left it, we just want to do a couple of updates, because I didn't know that there was 2 counter sniper teams. I made the first slides at Saturday night, literally. So with the Fieldcraft guy there, Greg Lapin, he's my friends know him. So I don't personally know the guy, but my friends do. So he's a credible guy, and he had a little video. I just want to make sure I don't plagiarize people, because like we talked about, I got all kinds of people plagiarizing me in the background.
Comment.
It's kind of annoying because I make my citations on purpose. It's called professional etiquette. It's called ethics.
Even on a comedy show, there are ethics and etiquette. I agree with you.
Go back to that video. I mean that. I guess it's
slide.
Yeah, which slide is it? Yeah, go back to that one.
I can't see pages here.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put them in. Oh, my bad. And
it's cropped on the screen, so I can't actually see it. Hold on, let me make this other screen bigger.
Yeah. Well, just go to that one. Yeah, I cropped
14,
that one.
I think that's 14. Everybody who's sticking around through George and I getting
if you go all the way to the end, on slide set 13, that one, that's a screenshot of Greg Lapin's video. If you go up one, there's a whole bunch of different
points of interest.
There's a whole bunch of second shooter scenarios. One of them is that they shot from across the street where that long red line is. Because you have to shoot around one tree, so you got to be all the way at the end of the building. But that's about a 550 meter shot. So you can't do that with a 223. You would have to do that with at least, a 308 based round. So that would typically be what they would typically use in a SR-25 would be an M118 LR with 175 grain Sarah Match King rounds. They weigh enough that they don't get blown off by the wind that much. But it's more accurate if you fire it out of a bolt gun than a gas gun. But if you're going to get 2 different calibers they sound differently when bullets fly over your head. I know that from marking targets in the pits. It would sound different on the different sound analysis stuff. So I rule out the long shot because you would need a bigger bullet. So I rule that out. Then it would make a different sound, and that would show up on the sound analysis. So they all came in they all sounded like 556 223s. So then it's got to be within a few hundred yards. So then you get to go back up to, I guess that would be slide 12.
One second. Let me see here. both. There we go. This thing?
Yeah, there you go. Stop. Yeah, leave it right there. All right. To discuss, apparently, okay, the shooter was in the building in front on the roof, on the right side of the building. I thought he was over closer to the left, but apparently he was closer to the right near that parking lot. That was actually the building that the local police were using as their command center.
Which is hilarious.
The shooter was actually on that building. Oh, put the video back up. I need to talk over that.
But it's beyond hilarious. Like, you have to admit that the narrative is beyond hilarious.
All right. So apparently the the local sniper team says they weren't a counter sniper team and did not want to be on top of the roof. Apparently they wanted to be in the second story of that taller building.
Mm-hmm. This one here. Yeah.
All right. Right. So you have different windows in those buildings. So some people are arguing, well, how did they miss the guy crawling on the roof? If you're just looking down the window, he should have been right there and off to the left a little bit. Mm-hmm. Or I guess other people are surmising, well, a second shooter could have been shooting out of one of those windows. Again, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going over the different. Yeah, I'm just here. I'm just showing this video, this picture up there real quick, so people can just understand what the plausibility of it is. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know. So that's how that would have to work.
Hold on.
And then on Peak Prosperity, Chris Martinson said, well, it looked like some of the people would be shooting up as if they were shooting from the lower windows, which is really curious because that's where the local police would be. So is he saying that they're doing it? That's, I would find that hard to believe because the more people you involve, that would just mean that the local police were in on it. And that's just way too many people to be in on it. Then they would all have to be in on it. And hold on a second.
Let me find that video of his. It's here. This is Peak Prosperity, Chris Martinson, Beyond Incompetence, the Shooters, and the Water Tower. I muted him. Did I mute him? No, I muted this. Okay.
For Team 1, they would have had a clearer line of shot back to here. Then, of course, here was Trump and the eyewitness. You saw the BBC interviewing that guy with the bright red hair and the Trump hat. He would have been able to see what was going on from here. And, of course, this is where all the police cars were parked.
All right. I think that pretty much covers that view. I want to play... Whoops. Okay, good. I want to play a couple of videos by George Webb, who you may or may not know of, who we're not affiliated with. I'm not, at least. And I want to get your take on some of these events.
Now with the exclusive details. So, Rick, what's going on here?
Yeah, Gordon and David, my sources tell me those Pittsburgh motorcycle officers were asked to help out with the former president's motorcade. They say they got permission from their supervisors. But according to sources, the Bureau says they didn't and weren't supposed to be at that rally when the shooting happened. Sources tell 11 Investigate state police requested Pittsburgh motorcycle officers to assist with former President Trump's motorcade Saturday night from the airport to Butler and back again. Pittsburgh sent 10 officers. 4 of them were hit by shrapnel when a gunman opened fire, killing one man, wounding Trump and several others.
And George Webb here, and you'll see the 4 officers from Pittsburgh, and they're the same 4 officers that carry individuals away, the 2 shooting victims away. You can see here supposedly through the arm, you can see the wound there. So 2 officers from Pittsburgh, from the motorcycle team there, and then 2 other Pittsburgh officers carrying out the wounded. And so it's kind of like they make their getaway here. I'm not saying they made a bad getaway, but they're the only people to take victims away from the scene. It just happens to be the same 4 officers that broke away from Jill Biden's motorcade and that jumped into Trump's motorcade. I find that very odd and very interesting.
And there were also concerns that some of those officers should have been available to help with the First Lady's visit to Pittsburgh at the same time. Sources say cycle units from nearby universities were called in to assist Pittsburgh police with Jill Biden's motorcade.
Thank you.
A police spokesperson telling 11 Investigates, quote, "This was an administrative decision made by the chief. Per the FOP contract, I'm unable to speak to the reasons behind the move."
Okay, so that's the first video. Can I get your reaction?
Oh, I hadn't. I heard that those guys were suspended. I wasn't sure why. Yeah, it's just something that we're gonna have to look into. I mean, ostensibly, there's nothing wrong with what they did, but again, it's just more questions than answers.
Video 2.
And the state police, Ann Vandersteel was reporting that her contacts in the state police were saying that they wanted to send more CERT officers, strategic emergency response team officers, or SWAT officers, with dog teams and an EOD team. So that'd be at least a dozen people, if not 2 dozen. So, and then that was turned down. So I don't know why they would turn down personnel like that. Why the Pittsburgh people wouldn't just stay in Pittsburgh and help out with Jill Biden and send over the state police to handle the Butler. I don't know how that's made. It's just
it's a comedy show, so like we could just make jokes about it that sound like conspiracy theories. They could be all in like some secret club with secret numbers and like secret robes and stuff.
Right.
Let's watch this second video that George Webb shared on his Twitter.
Okay, hello everyone, George Webb, and basically we just presented evidence. Here you see a person being shot in this stands behind and to the left of Trump. The guy in the white shirt's going down. The shot is going through to the gentleman on the right who is standing in the blue shirt. The blue shirt gentleman is hit right after the guy in the white shirt. Obviously, the gun can't be pointing in 2 different directions at once. This same bullet is hitting the first guy in the white and the second guy in the blue. The first guy in the white goes down there, the second guy in the blue. The first guy in the white, again down, second guy in the blue. First guy in the white down, second guy in the blue. And if you line it up, those 2 guys in the stands, you see there the red line. And then the hydraulic hose also is hit in that same line, and you can see the hydraulic hose spraying. You're only left with one conclusion, which is the red line is the firing line, and that's a second shooter.
Aaron, there's been some developments as the investigation has.
All right, now let's get some CNN take on this, huh? What do you think? Let's get, because CNN was the first to say that he fell because of loud noises, so they must be telling the truth. Like Trump invented the term fake news because of CNN, so like we have to hear what they have to say.
What the investigators are telling us is, as far as a motive, a manifesto, the reasoning behind this, the suspect is still a blank slate. But what they have developed is a lot of the background about what happened that day. They know that he went to his employer at the nursing home where he works as a dietary specialist before this and said, "I need Saturday off. I have something important to do." But he told his coworkers, "I'll see you on Sunday." So he changed his days off, presumably for this. We also understand that when he got to the fairgrounds where this rally was being held for Donald Trump, the first thing that puts him on the radar of security people is near the magnetometer area where they're screening people in. He's carrying in his hand a rangefinder. It's a device that looks like a small pair of binoculars, but it's used by shooters to measure the distance when they're setting up a long-distance shot. Because he didn't have a weapon, that would not have prevented him to go through security, but they did flag, what does he have this in his hand for? At that point, they told people, keep an eye on this guy, but then he leaves the secure area, the staging area, and he doesn't turn up.
Time out. Leaves the secure area. What did he leave the state? Leave the township.
again for
No, he just went out. He just
until,
left that one little venue.
The crowd says there's a guy
Like
crawling
what?
up the roof, and it appears he has a rifle.
He just left that one.
There is an eerie moment in here, Aaron, where he's taking the rangefinder and he's looking through it at the counter sniper positions.
So basically, they saw him with the rangefinder at the metal detector. That's news to me. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's been out there, but you can use a rangefinder as a binocular too, as a monocular, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Shall we do the Trump sound analysis?
If you want to get a pair of GeoVids, you can have a full set of binoculars with a laser rangefinder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's
if you got about $3,000 to spend.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that's not cheap. In any case, let's play this so we can get a ear for the sound. Oh, damn. I need to turn it up first. So, yeah. How many shots? You said you have friends who are snipers. Like, you're in the sniper community. Have you shot sniper rifles before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I own some.
And
yeah, I've done some long distance shooting. So that's how I know a lot of guys in it, a lot of guys from work. I mean,
professionally
I just
or in your spare time?
Well, back when I used to have spare time.
Classical sniper meme in the background.
Yeah, he's got a Barrett, the semi-automatic version, the bullpup version. What do they call that? The M110 and the military DODIC, Defense Department identification.
Speaking of
code,
Defense Department identification code is DODIC, huh? DODIC is the president of Bosnia. In any case, we can't forget Netflix.
Right. They had to make everything woke.
You sent me some financial stuff about what was going on. Do you want to discuss this?
Yes. Well, everybody's talking about it today, but I don't know who talked about it first. But Mike Adams was talking about the number of short positions from, what is it, Austin Financial, was it? I got to look it up.
Yeah, Austin, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
Austin Private Wealth.
Austin in my chart here. But yeah, somebody shorted 12 million shares on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also shorted a whole bunch of shares of Rumble also. So clearly they thought that GJT was going to tank and Rumble was going to tank after the 13th, the day before the shooting. So that looks highly suspicious for those people that want to know, did people in advance know that this was going to go down in advance? That he was by the 14th or no, by the 15th, by the Monday when the market was going to open, that Donald Trump was supposed to be, dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's highly alarming. There's a whole bunch of short positions from, taken in May forward. Yeah, let me bring up that chart real quick. So Austin Private Wealth LLC shorted 12 million shares on that would have been Friday, July 12th. Then in the month of May, Yeah, Citadel Advisors, Susquehanna International Group, Shaolin Capital, Pentwater, Hudson Bay Capital. There's a whole litany of people that have been shorting the stock in May. So it's May, middle of May, then you got June, and then you got middle of July. So they're shorting the stock about 60 days out. Do they know something that we do not know? That's the issue.
They have a crystal ball, huh? Is what
Yeah,
you're
they have
getting at.
they have a pretty good crystal ball. They have a better crystal ball than I do. Let me put it that way.
I want to take a little break from our stuff and go into a little meme. This was a meme today that made the rounds in Serbia because there was a terrorist that had shot some cops, and then
where was that?
terrorists in Serbia. He shot
Where
some
in
cops down south. I'm not sure exactly where. Like, I can't remember the area, but they found him
in Belgrade.
They found no, not in Belgrade, not in Belgrade. Further down south, and
okay.
And then they found him in a village somewhere, and he was proudly UČK. So this basically summed up the mood of Serbia today. UČK being KLA, being those friends of yours.
Yeah. So I guess people are I don't know, let me go way out on a limb. It's one of those Albanian groups.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, I just made a wild guess.
I know. We've got another inception going on here. This is you and I discussing the comments. That other video. And actually, at the end of this video that's live now, you kind of get into your thoughts on Eastern Europe and what's going on here.
Well, from doing those comments, did we get any hate mail from that?
Well, I don't know. I really don't care.
Well, if we didn't, we're going to try harder.
We just have to make worse jokes. That's what it lines down to. So we did the stock. We did meme news. Can we do meme news? No, we did meme news. I wanted to get into this. No fakes in Ukraine. This was shared on the telegrams. Ukrainian channels have published a video clip filmed in the center of Kiev. The video shows a Ukrainian police officer pouring blood from a blood bag on a man in a doctor's coat. This doctor was later filmed by all the international press. It says screen here, and we've actually got that video. Let's see if by some miracle the video is the next one here. Next. No, that is not the next video.
That chart.
Oh, we still have to do the tower video. Let's watch this. This is hilarious. Just putting this out there on this comedy show. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good
Joins
stuff.
us now with
This we already watched, but this.
That chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something,
this is the. This is the tower, apparently, video that somebody posted online. I've not actually seen this video in detail, so have you seen this video? What am I looking at? I think I'm looking at this here.
The person needs to get the iPad 15 Pro, right? Or the or an S23 Ultra or 24 Ultra or whatever.
Right. Just get a better camera.
Higher quality zoom, right?
This was also sent in by subscriber / friend of the show. This is a very weird reaction to as somebody who's dealt with these kind of events. How would you classify this lady's reaction here?
Watch. She sits down. Yep. Watch. puts the sign up.
Something that said, "Take a look at what happened."
Shots fall off.
She's completely normal.
I think I saw her smile. I didn't notice her smile before. Hold on.
No,
I have to
watch
see this
shit,
again.
dude. Watch. She
Watch.
sits down. Yep. Watch this. Puts the sign up.
Something that said, "Take a look at what happened."
Shots fall off.
Oh yeah, there was definitely like a there.
She's completely normal. And then watch.
And then she's got her.
What the fuck? What the fuck? People are.
We're sorry for anybody who's watching this with their family, because I know some people actually watch this with their families. So we're sorry that your family is exposed to cursing. So, George, tell us more.
Well, there you have. I guess everybody's seen Full Metal Jacket, where Joker asked the door gunner with the M60,
Mm-hmm.
how do you shoot women and kids? And he says, very easy. You don't lead them as much. and before that or after that, somewhere around there, he says, well, who are you shooting? And he says, VC. He says, how do you tell if they're VC? He says, well, if they run, they're VC. If they don't run, they're very well disciplined VC. So she's very well disciplined, obviously. She had the presence of mind to keep the video camera running on her iPhone,
and to keep her cool and grin right when it was necessary.
Well, hey, she's going to get the Pulitzer for that.
You think so?
She was on it.
I don't think so. I think she's gonna just change passports and leave, go retire somewhere. In any case, we've got a timeline here by Colin Rugg. Crooks shot dead 26 seconds after he let off his first shot. 11 seconds after the first shot happens, snipers located Crooks. Seriously? His name is Crooks. 15 seconds later, Crooks. The script writers for this were good. Do you think we're living in a movie?
Well, yeah, Crooks is the bad guy, and the director of the Secret Service is named Cheadle. So it just gets better.
So the answer is yes, you do think we're living in a movie. That's what I just heard.
Yeah.
So we did the
Has to
timeline.
explain it, right?
We did the fakes. Oh, we almost forgot. Well, I almost forgot. Did you hear? I mean, in light of this whole Windows crashing thing and that link that you linked it to Ukraine, did you hear that the Pentagon has activated the last unit of the Leviathan Cyber Battalion, Charlie Company, also known as the Capybara Company? Capybara being that weird animal thing. It's related to rats, I believe. Any comment?
No, not at this time. I haven't looked at that. We're trying to get back to the 7P plan and prepare for our own show without covering other people's. But this assassination attempt is throwing off our time schedule.
That's one way to put it. We've got two little details that I want to cover before we round this off. Before we get to the two little images, is there anything else that you'd like to say that we didn't cover yet?
No, we just wanted to show the people, just for people's situational awareness, how a multiple shooter scenario may or may not be possible. They could be shooting from any one of those windows in those buildings. So just go on Google Earth. You can put yourself down on the ground about where Trump would have been on that stage. And you can look around on Google Earth and explore how something might be feasible or not feasible.
The last bit of
we
news.
We would never advocate any multiple shooter conspiracy theories.
There's
we would
no
never
conspiracy theories. There's just jokes. We don't theorize here. We just joke about things. We just
Yeah,
joke about
we have
things other
opposite
people have
sides,
said. Other people have said, and we bring sources usually. You do always, and yeah, and we don't plagiarize, unlike most of our viewers who are creators.
Right.
In any case, this came across my feed. European Dissident on Telegram. Subscribe. So Italy, somebody born in Mariupol, formerly 404 Ukraine, went to get his driving license renewed and was a little bit surprised when it came back saying Mariupol is a part of Russia. So, Italy. Whose side are you on, Italy? Whose side are you on?
Yeah. Okay. Borders change. Well, one day somebody was living in Vietnam, and then at one day, the next day they were living either a South or North Vietnam. So, yeah, things change.
Yugoslavia, Serbia, etc., etc.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So you've been through that.
There's that funny movie, Terminal. That's basically,
if enough people migrate from one location in Yugoslavia to another, well, then Kosovo goes from being a majority Serbian to majority Albanian. So whatever.
Yeah, it's not like the British had a hand in that. In any case, oh wow,
or the Turks.
My camera froze just in time. George, you want to take this out? Take us out, George, because my camera froze.
Oh, that's too bad. All right, well, we'll go ahead and conclude for today. Thanks a lot, working brother. And we'll see you next time. We'll talk about, we'll go from different nuances of the 7P plan and what the strategic plans of the left have been over time. So therefore, well, again, you're changing a Christian capitalist patriarchal society to an atheistic, centrally planned matriarchal society. That's what socialism does. So they've been trying to incrementally change the United States from one thing to another. And part of this analysis is to see how far they've gotten and what needs to be done to reverse it, because wherever socialism has been tried, it's been an absolute complete disaster. And we need to get into Tubing and Kosmita's Psychological Foundations of Culture. I tell everybody to read that. Written by two evolutionary psychologists, neuroevolutionary psychologists, that talk about, for some reason, the philosophical and social sciences completely abandon the scientific project. And what they mean by that is each one of the disciplines stopped using scientific methodology. So together it's the scientific project, because if they're trying to coordinate their information to get logically coherent theories of human behavior, that would be, in total, it would be the scientific project. Because someone asked me that a couple of weeks ago, what I'm calling the scientific method and what I'm calling the scientific project. So they go into great detail in Psychological Foundations of Culture of how the different social sciences abandon scientific methodologies. And I want to get into how that's occurred over time in different areas. Once they put leftists in charge, they automatically stopped doing, in the macro disciplines, they stopped performing autopsies on failed Marxist experiments and started promoting, if we do socialism this way or that way, it will work better next time. So the United States is we're in the midst of that. They're basically, again, why they're so mad at Trump, it's not because he's from Queens, as Victor Davis Hanson says. The left thinks they're about on the 2-yard line as far as to reaching the single party socialist state, and then Trump came along. Had Hillary won, they could have flooded the United States, changed Texas and Florida to blue states, and they would have achieved the single party socialist state. Then they could go about changing everything else. So we're going to go into what they want further to change to make sure that it never goes back to capitalism, because once you vote yourself into socialism and they control the bureaucracies, what they're calling the deep state now, you can't vote yourself out of that, just like Venezuela or Cuba or any of those other places. So we want to get into how close or far away are they from doing that, and what needs to get reversed. When you're using strategic planning, you're talking about very specific things that they've done that very specifically need to be reversed.
The nomenclatura, as it is called. My camera is still bugging out. In the background, we've got this live going. So if you're watching this, leave a comment. George checks them all and actually replies to you if you've got something to say. We might even cover it here. George, let me show you how you're actually supposed to take out a show. Everybody who's stuck around to the end, thank you for sticking around. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. George will be back with more slide sets, and like he said, we'll be back in the 7P plan. Peace out, everyone.